Welcome everyone to the 237th weekly MLP Drawing School live critique stream. It's like September 15th all day long until it isn't. And we're only 8 minutes past 6.
Oh, and that's your Pixie.
Well, yeah, Pixie's on the September 17th, but not the 16th. They have jumped an entire day.
Future.
You know. Which really, they're kind of a jerk for not telling us, like, of the forest fires and all sorts of natural disasters that are happening. I mean, if you live in the future, just tell us. Tell the rest of us plebeians.
Well, that's just because we don't like you. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh, got real today, folks.
Wow.
I'm joking.
Just, hi, plushie. Today we have Alley Claw not telling Living Dead that they suck.
I did say
Hopefully.
nice things to you earlier.
From the land of double crust baguettes, we got Artemis Plum.
Hi, I don't take my hair to wash it.
Don't take your hair off to watch.
That's exactly what a robot would say.
Exactly. No, am I a robot?
And we got the man who would build a hugging robot just to make sure he can set a metric for what a hug is. Fluffy's Eye.
Also, I hugged my hair minutes ago.
You hugged your hair
What?
minutes
My
ago.
hair. Wow, my brain is just dead today. You crossed the streams my brain by bringing up hugs, because my brain's then just hugs.
And from the outcome of crossing the streams together, we got Pixie Up.
Hello there. Good morning from Australia. Welcome to the stream.
Did you
And
bring...
we got someone who's actually dead.
Yeah.
Or living, I don't know. We don't know. He's living dead, kinda.
Yeah, hi. Now, I am able to be prosecuted after death. They've already done it to a pope at least once, so I have to be on my best behavior. No eating people.
Not until you're
I'll
off
show
stream.
some Pringles for you instead, so you won't have to eat people.
Now I kind of want Pringles.
I'm doing it to you again.
Oh, oh! Evil man.
Fluffy, don't do that on stream. We can charge for that ASMR.
Yeah. Make sure to slowly tap the mics with your fingers while you're at it.
Oh my god, why? There's no purpose.
I know.
I don't like that. Alright.
I have some mail to unwrap on ASMR if you want.
It's gonna be Bill's. So, the first bill we have this week is by Shadow Assassin 1247, and it's haven't drawn ponies in a long time. Thus, the taxes have built up on the pony drawing, so now we have to get more ponies out of you. But they haven't drawn ponies in a long time, but been on that art grind recently. Hope you like it. They have no questions posted for us, so let's just do it. They are the top left-hand corner, green horse, brown hair. You might remember them from such photos as Horse and Horse and Friends.
I'd watch that show. Horse and Friends sounds like a good show.
The Horse Friends show.
I hear they might have a spin-off called Horse, of course. That's gonna be the day.
It really is.
So interesting. The light source. Figure somewhere like in front of their eyes, slightly above, like whoop up here, going like, "Yo, buddy." Yeah. My one suggestion I always do for everyone who's doing pictures with lighting: draw your light source. And if you can't draw your light source, draw it on another piece of paper and put it over like sticky note in the corner. Because dang it, keeping a consistent light source is intense. So draw it do it. It'll make your life easy.
Eventually, you'll just get in the habit of just having in mind like where it's coming from, and it's easy to get swept up in like, oh, I'm defining this shape with the shadow right now, or this thing's going to cast a shadow, and like not thinking about where the light's coming from. So like drawing it at the beginning is very, very helpful for that, because it gets you to be like, oh, that's where the light is. But eventually, you're just like, you can just remember that and not have to put little shadows in the wrong place. It just takes experience.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you've gone ahead and shaded the face, you've shaded eyeballs, you've shaded the pen, and it's even casting a shadow. But then there's areas like the ears. Of course, I'm doing green on green horse. Let me switch my colors up here. Things like your ear isn't casting a shadow. Your hair itself, no shading on it. So if we're going to do the shading, let's just do the rest of the shading. When it's only half done, it sticks out, or the elements that aren't shaded stick out a lot more than you ever intended them to. And that's why I just like to say, if you're going to do it, just keep doing it.
Shading is a bit of a commitment. That's why I've been sort of reluctant to do it of recent years. I had this problem the other day as well. Sometimes you can get away with putting small elements in that don't really stand out too much, but then sometimes they do, and it's like, oh, now everything else needs shading.
So if you look over here, you've got Ali doing an amazing horse riding. It's good. A lot of this, from what I see, you can see sort of the structure that Ali's building up. And a lot of that is just looking at the super, super simple shapes. So the main sort of body of the head, something like that. And then I tend to have the neck sort of come off with this sort of shape. It's kind of like a cylinder that is just like coming off it, and it's a little bit shaped weirdly and that sort of stuff. And then once I have this, I tend to find sort of where the center line is, cut off the side, and sort of that's roughly where the ear comes out from. Do something like that. Make sure that the ear is sort of puffy enough. And you can just build stuff up. It's always difficult to add the features once you've sort of got the thing there. Especially get them looking nice and 3D and all that sort of stuff, but it just takes time. You'll get there.
Lots of that good old practice. References to artists you like. Eat them. Well, not them. Eat the references. They probably don't want to be eaten.
I mean, if they know LD, then they don't get a choice.
That's fair.
Wumpa, 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 whoop, 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 wumpa, wumpa. That's me eating art.
Yeah. With the eyes, something to keep in mind is that they'll both be the same height, and they are on yours, which is good. But this one will be longer horizontally because it's like facing the camera more. And it's a good way to just show the 3D camera and stuff like that, is to explicitly have that. A little bit of a cheek or something along those lines. It's a little bit rough, but if you go over other artist drawings, what I tend to do is I tend to make a new page in Clip Studio or whatever you use, and then I'll put like a bunch of different images from artists that I like, and I just look at them and I'm like, oh, I like that horse. That horse looks good. Cool. So I'll just fill up a page full of other artist drawings, and then I'll create a layer on top, and I'll go, alright, let's just trace over these horses. And then I'll just do that for like a while. And through that, then I sort of get a feel for how different artists do their head shapes. Some of them, like, fairly wide, and some are fairly tall. And, the different angles and the ways that they draw muzzles at those different angles and all that sort of stuff. And it just lets you sort of explore your own art style by copying parts of other people's art styles, which is just how art styles work.
Yeah.
So I can recommend it. Mess around and steal other people's art stuff. And the advice that someone gave is, if you steal stuff, everything like styles and stuff from one artist, then you get called a copy of that artist. But if you steal it from like a whole bunch of different artists, then that's just
Art.
referencing and building your style. That's just art.
Yeah.
Ah,
Good artists steal.
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright, shall we move on to our next one? I'll take silence as a yes. Alright, we're gonna go down. Which,
Downwards?
those two in context, no. Silence is not a yes. But, we're gonna do the picture beneath this one. So this picture is submitted by Soldier Point, I believe?
No,
Embroidered.
Right, embroidered. So they've got into Anthro, I guess, is the case here.
Super cool.
I see lots of cute designs going on. I am interested, and you didn't provide an answer to Maze, but is this a pair of glasses here? Like there's two circles, one just vaguely hanging over the other eye, but it's sort of blended in because the eyelashes and the eye black. Be interested if that's a set of glasses. And if it is,
I think so.
I would highly suggest whatever someone did in blue here, add the bridge, even if we're only getting a bit of the bridge. And with that bridge, I would also add in just a bit of overhang, like overlapping of the other spectacle side, because glasses generally are flat. I know sometimes they can have a bit of a curve, but generally they're flat and they do hang off the face, so showing them overlapping will help break it free of that face and differentiate it.
Also making them a bit more uniform. Just looking, the head's slightly tilted, but if the one glass is up here, unless they're really wibbly wobbly, the other glass would be up here as well. So just be careful of,
Yeah.
the placement.
Although,
No,
what if your glasses are bent and broken?
I mean that's fair, but if this is, even then, that to me this isn't distributing. What am I saying? Demonstrating.
Yeah.
This isn't demonstrating that to me. So if that is the case, then still more work would need to be done to prove what these glasses are doing.
This looks really cool. Good job. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like how all the details of the clothing are. Like, I really love how this belt is, as well as this little pin, like this little button-up part of the jeans, the short jeans. Yes,
This-
I love finger.
This little wrist thing, how it like goes all around, that is a super cool detail. I like how you've done that sort of thing. Something that I'm having a little bit of trouble sort of understanding 100% is how the flag goes, because I presume that this is a like t-shirt underneath sort of thing.
That's a one-piece sweater.
This is a hoodie pocket here.
Yeah. And it's your
Oh, okay.
yeah. I think
Okay,
it's
we-
the Tangent Lines has done that to you.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
if you just outlined that hoodie, the pocket itself, if you gave it its own outline, I think that would help separate it a bit more.
Oh, like that's where you like put your hands in here, yeah.
Yeah.
I see. I'm not down with all the hoodie stuff. We don't tend to have too many of those around, at least in my wardrobe. So, yeah.
Does it never get cold there? Not even like mild?
Well, it does, but then we have I forgot what it's called, but like what's it called? That's the thing.
Now you got to explain this to me one day. How
I'll-
do Australians keep? Do they just like call upon the spiders and they just sort of like become a jacket?
I think my dad took a point in pride in never wearing anything but a pair of shorts in his life. So
What a
They-
badass.
that's just being stubborn.
LD, you got it wrong. If you're Australian, you just get hugged by a bunch of koalas all at once, and then that's your coat.
Okay, I'm okay with this game. Yeah, I would
I like it.
shorten the arm, and my reasoning behind it: if you take your arm and hold them loose to your side with the elbows flexed, you'll notice that your elbow doesn't actually line up with your hip. And in fact, lines up above your belly button. I'm not quite sure how your body lanky goes, but most people it's a little distance above their belly button line. I know Anthro, you're gonna end up stretching out some of them, especially if you're going for sort of pony proportions with Anthro body parts. I would still lean more into that Anthro of the shorter arms, longer legs. I do like it though. Looks cute. 10 out of 10 would boop. And also, look, wearing a mask and not complaining. Good job.
Oh yeah.
Looking fabulous.
Oh my god, I haven't taken advantage of this. I never would have to draw a face again. I just cover everything in masks.
See, I love drawing faces. It would be great if if there was something that would make it so we didn't have to draw hands anymore.
Yeah, they're mittens.
I know, but is that a required part of pandemic safety?
Yes.
I mean, I wish it would.
Safety
is
I
now.
don't think it is here, but
It's a required part of cute.
Alright, anyone else with any points on this one?
With this undershirt, I added a little bit of just like some like slightly darker lines up here. I might just it'd be cool to give that just a tiny little bit more detail, just to match all the surroundings around it, and also just add a tiny little bit of like shirt poking through here, just to solidify that it is like an undershirt sort of thing.
I like it.
It's good. This leg looks good. Maybe like the tiniest little bit less curve there, but that's honestly mostly personal preference and stuff like that. I'm just thinking matching it to the other kind of leg a little bit more. But no stress. It looks good. It's an interesting, weird kind of anthro style, and I like how you're exploring stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see more.
I'd say if you want to, because I think you were just asking in general, if you want to push yourself a little bit further, I would really look at anthro legs. Like, just take a look at how people interpret them and look at actual animal legs. And while doing poses like this, try to find a way that the legs aren't just like, copy paste side to side. And that gives standing poses a little bit more interesting look to them. Like, could have one, like, you just take a look and see how people pose their own legs, how you see people in the wild standing, and it's kind of like this weird little game to
you don't
interpret.
normally just like stand in a straight static sort of way, do you? You typically like lean and do all sorts of stuff. 'Cause you also got to think about like the center of gravity, and while you can like stand straight up and still, it's like your legs will get tired eventually, so then people will like lean and stuff, but then you've always got to keep like center of gravity balanced. I was gonna say this, I don't know if you guys think this character is too like lean forward a little bit because of the leg shapes, or if that's just me.
Yeah,
I
I think
mean-
it's right.
Yeah, like it feels like stable, because like if you can draw a straight line through it, straight line looks stable. Or if your basically finding your center of gravity, if you can
Yeah.
draw that straight line in it.
That's what I was thinking. I was debating. It's sort of like the belly button area, the like weight. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's just a case of what you're saying about like making the pose sort of dynamic. Because I agree.
All right. I do agree with Maze. The way the shirt tucks in does it's once again comes down to tangent lines, and I think this is mostly caused because the resolution on this was actually quite small. If it was enlarged, like we had more fidelity in it, a lot of these tangent lines would go away, just due to the fidelity. But yeah, overall, you did a great job.
Yeah, it's. I think for me and the this whole shirt pocket thing, I think that it's mostly. Let me choose. If you come up from up here, goes down, and it looks like all this is one shape, and so it's like, okay, my brain immediately thinks, okay, this is some kind of like a vest thing that's coming over.
I mean, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. So it might just be a case of doing something along the lines of making these. I'm pretty sure this is another private flag, but making these a little bit cut in so that they're not meeting this shirt pocket exactly at this point. Making sure that there is like an explicit point there. That would probably help a little bit in terms of doing that, as well as just adding like a slightly darker color there. Just a slightly color darker there, just to sort of signify, okay, this is something where you can put your hands inside.
Mm-hmm.
Put your hands in.
Yeah.
All right, shall we move on to our next and last one?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh no, I reloaded. I'm excited to see more anthro sketches and weird stuff and wrote it because that is cool. I like it.
I agree.
Okay, our next one. Sorry about that. It's gonna be. Whoop.
This one's big. I need to zoom
I didn't shrink it. Sorry.
out.
This is by Gamers Fun 2595. Finally making my OC. P.S. Gyokos is also a music term. How the heck do I pronounce this?
I'm no musician. I have no idea.
Giocozo?
I said Geocazo too, but I'm a musician and I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know music.
Jayakoso.
Some weird fancy music term.
Jayakoso.
What's it mean?
Music.
Dictionary.com. Merry, playful. It's an adjective.
That's cute.
Oh.
Heck yeah.
I like it.
I like it. Good name and good
Yeah.
pony. And let's do stuff.
I noticed there is undersketching going on here that has been tastefully erased. Good job. Good job.
Heck.
Everyone,
Heck
everyone for undersketches. Yeah.
Hell yeah, under sketches.
Yeah.
Yay!
I am 10,000 drawings in, 30 or 40 sketchbooks, it feels like. Still undersketch every picture. There's barely
yeah.
anything
I
I
mean,
don't
Why
do
wouldn't
that-
you? You've got nothing to prove. Like, there's nothing wrong with undersketching. Even it's not a thing of like, oh, when you're a master, you won't have to undersketch. Like, yeah, you probably will. It's not something to move past. It's something to embrace.
Yeah.
These hoof ships are good. I like them. Most of the stuff that you see like a construction going on up here as well. Most of this sort of stuff that I'm doing at the moment is just stuff that sort of comes from like drawing a whole bunch of ponies. So don't feel like you need to immediately fix this all in one drawing because you won't be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Just take some time and effort and all that sort of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the front hoops at the top, I also like to have a little bit of like a shoulder that sticks out here. If you look at real horses and you do life drawing with real horses, if you look at the site called Line of Action, they have a little animal drawing section, which lets you basically just flick through animal drawings to draw. If you look at those, then they'll have this sort of like weird shouldery sort of thing, and I like to include a little bit of that in my horse drawings as well, because it feels nice. Horses.
A horse, of course.
With the whole body, it's difficult to sort of get the shape of this down.
I'd stretch the front legs down a little bit to match with what you've got on
Mm.
both you and the original drawings as well. I would have done something like that myself, but I don't have my tablet pen, so I can't.
It's so good. With the main bulk of the body, what I tend to do is I tend to have this kind of like a boom. It's almost like an airplane wing kind of thing. It's like shaped up a little bit, and then like the neck can sort of fit into here roughly.
Some of us have different ways of sort of designing the body, and I think you've shown us your sort of methodology of doing that before, and I think that's a really interesting way of constructing it.
Yeah.
I know I used the bean myself.
Be careful.
Use the bean, 2 circles.
There's so many options for undersketching.
Yeah,
You just gotta find what's comfortable for you at the end of the day.
You've got to create a full like mathematic diagram, and then from that you've got to design like draw out the full skeleton and muscle structure on top of that, and just get the whole like flesh out, and you got to get the anatomy right. You know, it's the only way to do it.
You heard the man.
Ellie, you were saying something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, be careful of your tail here. It's sort of coming out a little too low, and it's going up a little too high. So if we think of a phrase we like to use is poop tail, because it's just coming right out of the butt, when really it should be coming out of the spine. So if you look at your pony, basically the spine would run along the back here. So actually your little tail nub would, I guess horses have like a little longer nubby thing going on. But yeah, the hair would be coming off of that. So it would actually start up here and have a little bit of a gentler pull up instead of how you have here where it's just like a big bloop up into the air. It's a little bit more of a gentler. And as ponies you can have that big bump, but still it comes more from the back rather than slightly down the back.
Yeah. It's something we see way too often. It's very, very common to see the poop tail. As I guess I don't know. I guess you get used to drawing the butt shape, and then just the tail comes out here, but it comes out the very top, tippy top.
What I tend to do for that is I tend to follow the spine along. You have the back, and then you have this sort of, it just keeps going up with this like little bit of a thing, and then it sort of tail sort of comes off of that shape roughly.
Yeah, I really like doing that myself as well.
It's a fun shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're able to, possibly print off some like other people's art stuff. Maybe you could like print something off, and then just put a sheet of paper over it, and then try to trace over it with a pen or a pencil or whatever, and just see what sort of shapes you get, and see what sort of shapes they've used. If you can't do it, that's all good. You can just like look at stuff and draw while you're looking. But I always like looking at other people's art and then breaking their stuff down.
And when we say trace over, it's not just about following the lines. Like, it's not this type of tracing. It's like actually drawing over it. Like, okay, this is where a circle could be. And, oh, a triangle with a little curve could be here. And, oh, the nose is like a little bean that comes off. That's the kind of tracing where it's less following the lines exactly, because if you just simply trace an entire image, you're not going to quite understand how it's made. You're just going to memorize the lines of that image.
Yes.
So that's why we like to push for like drawing over it and tracing it that way, tracing the shapes and building shapes from it.
You gotta break it down to sort of figure it out.
Yeah. Like, like a circle for the headphones and then a rectangle for the whatever, the bridge on top. That kind of stuff.
100%. But good penny.
Cute name, good pony. A 10 out of 10, good OC.
Keep on drawing and sending us stuff, and we'll be excited to see some more of these things in the future.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone else have any other art they'd like critiqued? Any other questions they'd like to ask? Any other puns they'd like to put in during this moment? Going once? Going twice? Sold to the lowest bidder. All right. Well, thank you all for coming to this shorter than normal stream. We'll see you again next week, I guess.
Whoa.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that's the wrong button.